Have you ever had sopes from your local taco shop? They're thick, crispy on the outside, soft in the middle tortilla patties, smeared with super creamy beans, and often topped with shredded beef or chicken. Did you know they're super easy to make at home? Well, today I'm sharing another inexpensive Lenten meal favorite, vegetarian style, Soyrizo bean sopes. Hi everyone, this is Annie with more Confessions of a Foodie. Welcome. To start, you'll need masa harina. I use Maseca brand. Quaker and Bob's Red Mill are two other brands that are easy to find. Just make sure whichever brand you buy that it's labeled instant corn masa flour and not corn flour or cornmeal. Add 2 cups of masa harina to a large bowl. Toss in a teaspoon of sea salt and whisk to combine. Have 2.5 cups of very warm water on hand. Pour in 1.5 cups of water to start. Then, using your hands, mix in the water until it's thoroughly absorbed. Continue adding about 1/4 cup of water at a time, working the water in until there's no more loose flour on the bottom of the bowl and the dough holds together. Test the dough by rolling a small amount in the palms of your hands to make a small, smooth ball. Flatten between your palms, and if the disc has cracks in it, you'll need to work in a little bit more water, a tablespoon at a time, until the dough is smooth, pliable, and resembles Play-Doh in texture. Did you know that masa means dough in Spanish? This masa, by the way, is the same exact masa you'd use to make homemade corn tortillas. Instead of flattening these to a patty thickness, you'd press them in a tortilla press to make tortillas. Once you've reached the Play-Doh stage, cover with a damp paper towel, then seal with plastic wrap and set aside to rest. Next up, the fillings. I've tried a lot of Soyrizo and beans, and these are 2 of my favorites. Add a teaspoon of cooking oil to a hot skillet. Once the oil is hot, squeeze in half of a 10-ounce package of Soyrizo directly into the pan. Cook the Soyrizo for 5 minutes, stirring to keep it from sticking or burning. Remove 2 tablespoons of the liquid from a 16-ounce can of pinto beans, then add the beans to the pan. Stir to heat through. We removed some of the liquid because we want our beans creamy, not soupy. Using a potato masher, give the beans a mash. I prefer not to overmash, leaving some beans whole for added texture, but you can mash more or less to taste. Lower the heat to medium and allow to simmer for 5 minutes. Then remove from the heat and set aside. Roll the masa into a log about 10 inches long. Using a bench scraper or knife, divide the dough into 8 pieces. Roll a piece of the dough into a smooth ball. Then start applying pressure to flatten the ball between the palms of your hand, tossing from palm to palm, while you continue applying pressure to flatten the ball into a 3 to 4 inch thick patty. As the dough moves from palm to palm, it should naturally make about a 1/4 inch turn, which helps ensure a relatively round patty. A good sope has smooth, squared-off edges. To do this, use your thumb to smooth out the edges by pressing your thumb into your index finger, creating a squared-off edge all around the patty. If flattening by hand seems a little daunting for you, you can also place a ball of dough on a sheet of waxed paper. Press it a little to flatten, then cover with another sheet of waxed paper. Place a plate on top and press down evenly and firmly to create a 1/4 inch thick patty. This method definitely needs some edge smoothing afterwards, but it's certainly faster than the traditional method of tossing between your palms. Most Mexican households call these thick tortilla patties gorditas, which means little fatties, or chubbies if you want to be nicer about it. I know. Not very PC, but it always got a laugh from us growing up. That's what I'm calling these tortilla patties here on out. It just feels weird to call them tortilla patties. Return these babies to the bowl, keeping them covered while you heat up a skillet or griddle. I'm a huge believer in cast iron for tortilla making, so if you have it, use it. Once the griddle is hot, add 2 gorditas to the griddle. Keep the heat at about medium. We don't want it too hot or the outside will burn before the inside has a chance to steam and cook. After about 6 to 8 minutes, check a gordita. You want it to just be turning a medium to dark brown, and the edges will start to look dry. Flip them and repeat this cooking process on the second side. If you have multiple skillets going or a large 2-burner griddle, this cooking process will go much faster as you can cook more at the same time. As the gorditas are cooked, place them in a bowl and cover them with a clean kitchen towel. While the gorditas are cooking, thinly slice some iceberg lettuce. Yes, iceberg, not romaine or any of those other lettuces deemed more nutritional. Mexican food screams out for the crunchy, higher water content of iceberg. While the gorditas are still hot but cool enough to handle, we need to create a crust that will keep the toppings from sliding off, much like a crust on a pizza functions. Working your way around the gordita, pinch the edges up firmly, creating a little ridge. Sopes are meant to be eaten with your hands, much like you would a slice of pizza. However, unlike pizza, there is no gluten in the masa to help keep the gordita from breaking apart. That's why gorditas tend to be shallow pan fried in order to get a nice and crispy bottom. To that end, heat a skillet on medium-high heat. Once hot, add enough oil to cover the bottom, about 1/3 of a cup. When the oil is hot, carefully add the gorditas to the skillet. Don't overcrowd the pan, as we don't want to lower the heat of the oil too much. About 3 at a time should do. Fry for about 3 to 4 minutes or until golden brown. Once the bottoms are golden, remove to a towel-lined plate and continue frying until all the gorditas have been fried. While the gorditas continue to crisp up, let's thin out some sour cream so that it resembles the slightly acidic Mexican crema typically used for garnish. Add 2 tablespoons of sour cream to a small bowl. Squeeze in the juice of half a lemon. Then stir vigorously until smooth. Now we're ready to assemble. Spread 2 tablespoons or so of beans onto the gordita. Top with some crumbled Mexican queso fresco. Add some lettuce. Drizzle some of the crema to taste. Then top with some of your favorite salsa. Maybe finish with a little bit more queso. I think it makes a pretty garnish. Now it's time to dig in. Soyrizo bean sopes from Confessions of a Foodie. Until next time, friends, happy eats!